cell has the same type of chromosomes. Let's say every human cell has 46 chromosomes. Then क्यों एक सेल एक मसल बन जाता है और क्यों एक सेल नर्व बन जाता है? The answer lies in a very important term of genetics known as genes. Genes क्या होते हैं आज के वीडियो का टॉपिक है. What are genes, guys? Genes are basically the functional unit of heredity. Heredity क्या है समझने के लिए please check out my earlier video where I have explained the terms genetics, heredity and variation. Today I am talking about genes. Genes समझने के लिए let's go to the beginning. सेल में सारा जेनेटिक मटेरियल कहाँ प्रेजेंट होता है? न्यूक्लियस में. जेनेटिक मटेरियल होता क्या है? डीएनए नाम का एक मॉलिक्यूल. What is DNA, guys? DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So this deoxyribonucleic acid में ATGC, adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine के different combinations present होते हैं. ये बनाता है हमारा genetic material. But there's a lot of genetic material to be fit in a very small microscopic cell. Let's say अगर हम DNA को open up कर देंगे, it could be 2 meters long. How do I fit it? इसके लिए मुझे इस genetic material को condense करना होगा. जैसे कि अगर वुल है, अगर आपको वुल को निटिंग के लिए बेटर यूज करना है, आपको एक वुल का बॉल बनाना पड़ेगा. दैट इज गोइंग टू फैसिलिटेट योर निटिंग प्रोसेस. जस्ट लाइक दैट लॉट ऑफ जेनेटिक मटेरियल नीड्स टू बी कंडेंस्ड डाउन. छोटा करके उसको स्टोर किया जा सकता है. सो दिस इज व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हैपेंस इन द न्यूक्लियस. स्टोर किया जाता है इस डीएनए को प्रोटीन्स के साथ बांध के इन स्ट्रक्चर्स नोन एज क्रोमोसोम्स. So DNA forms chromatin, combines with proteins, becomes the chromosome. तो genes कहाँ present होते हैं? Well, on the chromosomes. Genes are nothing but small sequences of DNA. ये DNA sequences chromosome में present होते हैं. The location on the chromosome where the gene is present is called the locus. Chromosome क्या है? खुद एक DNA है, बहुत सारा DNA है with protein. इसमें एक स्मॉल डीएनए के सीक्वेंस को कहते हैं जीन, जो कि प्रेजेंट होता है एक लोकस पे. अब ये जीन करता क्या है? वेल, दिस जीन इज दिस डीएनए दैट विल फॉर्म आरएनए, एंड दैट आरएनए मे फॉर्म प्रोटीन और मे नॉट फॉर्म प्रोटीन. सो दिस इज माय जीन, दिस इज डीएनए segment. The DNA segment is going to form what? RNA. This RNA may form protein or may not form protein. So what does this statement mean? If the RNA formed is mRNA, then it will be translated. Translation होगी उसकी, बन जाएगा प्रोटीन. पर कई RNA ऐसे होते हैं जैसे कि tRNA या rRNA, राइबोसोमल RNA, जो कि RNA की भी सेल में जरूरत होती है. So every RNA need not be converted into a protein. So genes are that small segment of DNA that code for a functional RNA. They may code, may not code for a protein. So do not confuse that all genes code for proteins. No, but all genes definitely code for a functional RNA. तो ये जीन्स जो क्रोमोसोम्स पे प्रेजेंट होते हैं, इनकी नंबर क्या होती है? इज इट फिक्स्ड? Well, it is not fixed and varies greatly among organisms. जब humans के genome में number of genes determine करने की कोशिश की गई, it was found that somewhere around 20 to 25,000 genes were present in the human genome. A small bacteria like E. coli also has 4,000 plus genes. Wow! Plants में क्या होता होगा number? Well, Arabidopsis thaliana is the name of a plant. इसमें होते हैं 25,000 genes, and in fact this is the plant having one of the lesser number of genes. इससे भी बहुत ज़्यादा normally plants में present होते हैं. So if they are present in such large numbers, it indicates that they must be very important for the normal functioning of the cell. So now in the next part, we are trying to understand how these genes control heredity. Genes are known as the unit of heredity. Why? Let's try to understand. Genes occur in pairs. This is important. Genes always occur in pairs. Why? Because one copy of the gene comes from the mother and another copy of the gene comes from the father. Let's say in this representative diagram of a human cell, these two chromosomes represent a pair of homologous chromosomes. So then what are homologous chromosomes? Well, the human genetic material has 46 chromosomes in total. There are 23 pairs, 46 हैं तो pair कितने हो गए? 23 हो गए. So let's say one of those pairs we are considering here. इसके जो दोनों क्रोमोसोम होंगे इस पेयर में, they are going to be identical in terms of what? जो जीन्स की अरेंजमेंट होगी, जो जीन यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट होगा, लेट्स से फॉर हेयर कलर, वही जीन फॉर हेयर कलर यहाँ पे भी प्रेजेंट होगा. मतलब इन द मदर्स कॉपी and in the father's copy the arrangement of the genes is going to be same. यहाँ hair color का gene है अगर, तो यहाँ पे भी hair color का ही gene होगा. Let's say यहाँ पे अगर eye color का gene है तो यहाँ पे भी eye color, same character in question will be present on both the chromosomes. Now the location, like I have told you, where this gene is present is known as the loci. So this is the loci. Locus is used for one gene, loci is a plural. These pair of genes are present at the same loci. इसमें सेंट्रोमियर की लोकेशन दोनों क्रोमोसोम्स में सेम है. क्रोमोसोम्स का स्ट्रक्चर, क्रोमोसोम्स का साइज दोनों सेम है, इसीलिए इनको कहा जाता है होमोलोगस क्रोमोसोम्स. कमिंग बैक टू जीन्स नाउ. Alternate forms of the same genes are called alleles. They are called alleles. Let's say that in the pea plant, the gene is for seed color. मतलब मटर का जो आपका सीड है वो किस कलर का होगा? नॉर्मली येलो होता है या ग्रीन होता है? So yellow and green represent what? They are the alleles. So yellow and green are your alleles. Now, yellow color is dominant over the green color. So, yellow will be represented by, let's say, capital Y and green by small y. Now, let's go through a small animated video to understand this concept better.
Now that we know that genes are known as the units of heredity, let's look at it with the help of a diagram. The story begins in the nucleus of the cell. The nucleus of the cell has 23 pairs of chromosomes. 23 pairs means in total 46 chromosomes. Now these chromosomes on them have genes. Genes are present on chromosomes. Now what are these genes? Nothing but DNA sequences. DNA is made up of 80 GC nucleotides. इनके sequences को कहा जाता है gene. What happens now is that one copy of the gene is received from the mother and one copy of the gene is received from the father. As homologous chromosomes में एक chromosome mother से आता है और एक chromosome father से आता है. Here we see that the pink chromosome represents the maternal chromosome that comes from the mother and the purple chromosome represents the paternal chromosome that comes from the father. Now let's take an example. Let's consider a character, वो एक feature जो हम observe कर सकते हैं, right? For height. Now the gene for height will be called naturally the gene for height. Alleles क्या होंगे इसके? What are alleles? Alternate forms of the gene. Height के क्या alternate forms हो सकते हैं guys? Tall हो सकती है या short. So they are the alleles for the gene for height. They are denoted, let's say, by the letter capital T and small t. Capital T will represent the dominant character. We'll talk about it in the further videos. That is the tall height. The small t represents the short height. That is the recessive trait. Now let's look at what is happening in the chromosomes. Here we see that the dark red band represents the allele for the tall height and the orange band represents the allele for the short height, that is denoted by small t. Now the locations on the chromosome where the red band and orange band are present are known as the locus. So on locus for the gene of height, two alleles are present, capital T and small t. The tall height allele is present in the maternal chromosome and the short height allele is present in the paternal chromosome. This means that the mother must have been tall and the father could have been tall or short. Why? I'll explain in the next video. Thanks for watching.